Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I have a pick a card reading for you, and the question that we're going to be asking is, how should I approach this situation? Maybe you're dealing with a difficult situation or just a situation where you feel like you need guidance and you're wondering what energy do you need to bring to the situation, or how should you approach it for the best possible outcome. I do also want to mention that I do have openings for personal readings. If you would like your own personal tarot reading, please feel free to email me at the email address in the description box. This is going to be pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and out. Ground and center yourself, and choose the pile of cards that you feel the most intuitively drawn to. And let's get started. For those of you that felt drawn to pile number 1, this is your reading. So the main card that's really standing out for me here is the love and compassion card, this one right here. So you are being asked to approach this situation with love. I'm hearing love instead of fear. So maybe this is a situation where you are trying to find solutions and they're all coming from fear. And there's just a need for you to kind of cleanse and purify that before you step into this situation. So if you are feeling very agitated and aggravated by this situation, that's not the right time to deal with it. Or to try to think of a solution. You want to take yourself out of the situation, remove yourself, cleanse, purify, there's a word, just like cleansing and purifying your energy before you address it or approach it. It's sort of giving me the energy of if you were in an argument with someone and you felt yourself getting really heated, instead of staying in that moment and maybe saying things that you don't mean or behaving in ways that you would later regret, you sort of have the conscious awareness to remove yourself from the situation. Whoever you're arguing with, you're like, I'm sorry, I want to respect you, and in order to do that, I need to remove myself from the situation. I need to calm down, and I need to approach this conversation or this argument at a later date when my emotions are sort of cooled down. And so I feel like for you, you need to take yourself out of the fear, out of this anxious energy, and approach it with love. We also have the skunk spirit, and it says know your worth. So again, this is feeling like there's a need for you to really stand up for yourself and believe in yourself and believe in your own arguments or your own worthiness. I feel like you sort of have this idea of this is what I deserve, or this you're I think I'm right about this situation, but you're not quite sure. And it's you need to get very certain about what it is that you're looking for or what it is that you're asking for. And know that if you feel like you're not being treated fairly in this situation, that's valid, and you may not be. And it is important to stand up for yourself and to know your worth and to really advocate for that and advocate for yourself. And you can do that in a really loving and compassionate and caring way. We also have this card here, Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. I feel like whatever this situation is, I'm seeing a roadmap. I'm seeing someone looking over you as you're going along this journey, and they can see the whole map and you can't. You can only see, it's not seeing the forest for the trees. There's some sort of, whether it's your higher self, some sort of divine being that's guiding you up above and can see sort of the whole plan, the whole path unfold, and you can't see that yet. But there's, whatever you're dealing with is a part of some larger master plan. I wonder why that's important. Why is that important? What about this situation is so important about the Yeah, there's definitely some sort of conflict that you're dealing with. So something, another energy that I was picking up on is make sure that you are looking at the bigger picture. Make sure that if this is a conflict with a person, for example, and it's really important in the long term to keep this relationship healthy and positive, to really keep that in mind, to keep in mind, you know, I'm not going to burn my bridges, or I'm not going to, like, I really need to approach this in a way that's going to maintain the relationship long term. And it's about like looking ahead and seeing that bigger picture. I'm also feeling like you're going to win if you take the high road. There's just a need for you to like put yourself first and your desires first and your emotions first, but also not, like, I keep hearing like not burning the bridge, like not, yeah, there's just some sort of like you learning conflict resolution is really, really important. I don't know why. I don't know if this is some sort of like family, like I'm feeling almost like ancestral trauma. Like maybe you come from a family where the arguments were just like mean and nasty, and there's a need for you to learn to sort of not be like the mediator. I feel like maybe you took on that role of like, let's just make sure everyone's happy, whatever. It's about learning, like really truly learning the skills and mastering the skills of like conflict resolution, where yes, everyone is happy, but you're not sacrificing your own needs or desires or feelings in order to make someone else feel happy. It's like you deserve to be happy in this situation too. For some reason, that's like really, really important. I feel like you compromise a bit too much. You just want to keep the peace. And it's like, it's important for you to know that conflict is not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're unsafe. You can approach it with love and find a solution where everyone is happy, and everyone walks away feeling good. Yeah, again, this like message of looking to the long term, I feel like that's really important. Maybe you are sort of the type of person, like if this is a relationship or love situation, maybe you're the type of person that you're like, oh, we're arguing, this is not a good thing. And it's like, that's not necessarily true. Like conflict can be very healthy. And there's sort of a need for you to like learn to love conflict, or learn to love the process of, getting over conflict. Like that's really, really important. That's why you're sort of dealing with this situation, is for you to learn conflict can be very beneficial, very healthy. You can approach it from a place of love. You don't have to be fearful or feel unsafe in it. You can maintain a relationship. It doesn't mean that you have to burn the bridge or cut the person off just because you're experiencing some sort of conflict or disagreement or argument. And just really bringing this energy of love and compassion into this argument or disagreement and conflict, and knowing that it can be resolved from a place of love where you're not sacrificing any of your values or beliefs or truths, and everyone can sort of come out on the other side feeling better and no bridges have been burned. So approach it with love, approach it knowing that conflict can be very healthy, can be a good thing. Of course, as long as the other person is approaching it in the same way. If you're being treated like trash, that's obviously not okay. But I don't feel like this situation is that. I feel like you're just needing to learn how to overcome challenges and come out on top, feeling like you stood up for yourself and your beliefs, but also were able to find a compromise or a solution and maintain the relationship. Thank you so much for watching this video. I just wanted to mention again that if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can go ahead and send me an email at the email address that's linked in the description box. It'll be leanna@indigoanna.com. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. For those of you that felt drawn to pile number 2, this is your reading. So I would say the card that's sticking out the most for me is the playfulness card. Right here it says, my joy is the greatest gift that I give to others. So there's a need for sort of like playful energy to be brought into this. We also have the ancestors card, and we have this card right here. I never know how to pronounce this. Mintaken. It says longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. There's this sense of, with the ancestors, it's like there's a sense of like your roots, coming back home to yourself, coming back to your roots. There's something really important about that. I feel like what I'm thinking of is like when you're a kid, yeah, there's something about like your family, your hometown, being a kid, just coming back to, okay, I know what it is. So for you to approach this situation in the best possible way, there's a need for you to like get back into the energy of like who you were as a kid. There's a need to really like what's the word here? I'm having trouble communicating, and my throat chakra is feeling like kind of blocked up. So I don't know why that might be relevant. There might be a need for you to work on your communication skills. Maybe your throat chakra in your upbringing was sort of diminished or closed or blocked off for whatever reason. That might be really beneficial for you, is to do some throat chakra healing work. You can look up YouTube videos of throat chakra healing music, you know, wearing the color blue, really just focusing on speaking your truth, expressing yourself. But what I was going to say earlier is also spending time like thinking about who you were as a kid, and like really getting into that energy, embodying that playful childlike energy. It's like I'm feeling like there's a piece of yourself that you've abandoned, or that you haven't been able to express since you were a kid, and for whatever reason you're being encouraged to do that now. We also have the koi fish spirit. It says there's always enough. For some reason, what I'm feeling with this group is you are not speaking up because you feel like there's already enough opinions out there. And so you're like, well, why would I add an extra, like me just speaking up and adding my idea or my opinion is just going to complicate and confuse things and add. And it's like, no, you have a right to your opinion. You have a right to express your ideas. This is feeling like a work situation for me. So you might be dealing with a situation where at work you have an idea and you're not expressing it or communicating it because there's like a bunch of other people that have other ideas, and you're like, well, I'm just gonna sit back and let them communicate and express their ideas. And it's like, your idea is the best idea and you're not communicating it because you think like there's a need for you to take up space. And I don't know if when you were a kid that was really suppressed or repressed, like you didn't feel like you could take up space, or if you haven't felt like you could take up space since you were a kid. Either way, there's just a need to like return to this energy of like, I am valuable and worthy. I can take up space. My ideas deserve to be heard and voiced and expressed. Yeah, something about self-expression. How should pile 2 approach this situation? Clear communication. Something that I'm feeling. This playfulness card is also making me think about, yeah, that I feel like this is your boss. Okay. I think there's a way that you can communicate and express your ideas, your wants, your desires, whatever you think or feel or want to contribute, there's a way that you can do that. And do it in a way that's almost like playful, almost like you're making a joke. Like, you don't have to be very serious, or it's not like this feeling of like demanding to be heard, demanding your ideas be followed. It's just like a playful energy. Like you're just like curious about it. You're like, well, what if we tried this? Or like, I don't know, there's a certain like silliness to it that people really respond well to. Maybe you're dealing with a boss who doesn't respond well to very like direct communication, or like very overbearing, overpowering energy. And so you're not tiptoeing around their feelings, but you're just sort of being very smart about it's so smart. It's like, you see, you're like a chameleon, and you're adjusting yourself to your environment. So you're seeing that, you know, people really respond well to me, or I think that we have this sort of rapport where if I am just sort of joking and playful, they're going to take me more seriously than if I'm like screaming and throwing a tantrum and demanding things to be a certain way. I don't think that's how you would react. I'm just saying you're able to see and read people and be like, this is how they would respond best to what I have to say. And so I'm going to communicate it in that way. And it's really working for you here. It's really working for you. Yeah. There's a need for you to sort of think about what leadership means to you, even if you're not in a position of leadership. How can you sort of be a leader even if you're not the boss? And, you know, how can you bring forth an idea and take on a leadership role, but also not be bossy? Like, you're sort of collaborating with other people here with this Three of Pentacles. It's like you're throwing out the idea, you're allowing others to sort of build on it, and then you're building off of their ideas, and it's this very good like collaborative energy. Especially with the Queen of Swords here, this is the energy I was picking up on earlier of like, you're so smart, like you are whip smart, you're so clever, you're so just able to see 10 steps ahead of everyone else. And I just feel like you're not in a leadership position, but you're such a leader no matter where you go. You don't have to be the boss, or you don't have to be the boss in order to be a leader. And there's really a need for you to like step up and be a leader. It's like it runs in your blood. You have these leadership capabilities, and it's just about learning how best to communicate in a way that will be well received, in a way that fosters an environment where other people can communicate and collaborate and share their ideas. That can be a leadership quality as well, right? Like just creating a safe space for people to express themselves and express their ideas, and then you bounce off their ideas and vice versa. It's this really like collaborative energy. And so again, don't take it too seriously. You can be a leader without being bossy or controlling, and without being very overbearing. And yeah, just go in with a feeling of collaboration, of playfulness, of curiosity, and you'll really benefit from that. I'm feeling like I want to pull one more card. What else do we want to add? Wow, okay. Yeah, it's again this feeling of like you're so smart, you're able to see 10 steps ahead, but you also have this very strong intuitive knowing of other people. Like you pick up on subtle cues, or you pick up on things that others can't. You just read people so well, and that's going to really benefit you. That's the skill that's going to help you like conquer the world almost, is like you're just like whip smart. but also combining that with your intuition, your ability to read people. That's your biggest power in this situation and in general. Thank you so much for watching this video. I just wanted to mention again that if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can go ahead and send me an email at the email address that's linked in the description box. It'll be leanna@indigoanna.com. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. For those of you that felt drawn to pile number 3, this is your reading. So we have the Simplicity card here, and we also have the Mouse Spirit. It says tend to the small things. And I feel like these two cards are really sort of bouncing off each other and speaking to each other and speaking about the same thing. And it's like there's a need for you to simplify and deal with the small details. I'm not sure if you're getting overwhelmed. It's like you're lacking clarity because you're trying to focus on too many things, and it's just like one at a time. How can we break it down? How can we simplify it? I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and it was talking about how, like, if you create a to-do list, sometimes it can be really beneficial to break down the steps of one item on the to-do list. So this is just an example, and it might not be a very good one, but it's the first thing that comes to my mind. Let's say on your to-do list is like do the laundry. So you have that on your to-do list, but it's like you could break that down into smaller steps. You could break that down into, you know, sort the laundry, put it in the washer, put it in the dryer, fold it. Like there's all these steps involved in just the to-do list of doing the laundry, and it's going to really benefit you and be beneficial for you to like break it down into the smaller steps and really focus on the small minutia, like small details. I feel like once you're sort of simplifying things and really focusing on staying in the present moment, focusing on one small task at a time, there's going to be some sort of like epiphany or realization that comes to you when things are just simplified. We have this card here. It says break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. To me, this is feeling like a message about you having the ability to change your destiny almost. It's like just because you've always done things a certain way does not mean that you have to keep doing things that way and perpetuating the same problems and issues. You can decide to act in a different way, and that it sort of feels like that feels overwhelming to you. You're like, how can I rewrite my future? How can I change things so that I'm not continuing to create what I've always created? And it's like, break it down. Like small habits compound over time. And it feels like that's what you are needing to do and needing to realize is it's not about changing all these big things or making these big changes all at once. It's about breaking it down into smaller steps, really simplifying it. You know, it's like if you have a goal of getting really fit, you're not going to just decide that you're going to go to the gym and work out for 6 hours and all of a sudden you're going to be jacked, you know, and fit. It's like you need to invest a little bit of time and effort in the gym every day, or, you know, 5 days a week, whatever it is. It's like breaking it down into smaller steps and realizing that those small contributions will compound over time. And it's not going to happen overnight, but you do have the power to take control. For some reason, this for me is just feeling about habits. Breaking old habits, changing your habits. Yeah, you're just feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling overwhelmed because there are so many habits that you feel like you need to change. You feel like there's so much. you feel like there's so much space between where you are now and where you want to be. We have the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups is not that far away from the 10 of Cups. And I'm feeling like you think that you have so much progress to be made, or like so much work ahead of you. You're like, in order to get where I actually want to be, there's so much that I need to do. And it's actually not true. There's like one small change that needs to be made, and all of a sudden you've gone from 8 to 10. It's like, it's not that far away. It's not going to take that much. You're like really thinking that there's so much work to be done. There's not that much work that you have to do or change about yourself or fix about yourself in order to get what you want. It's just about breaking it down into smaller steps. It's just one small, simple change. Yeah, you really need to take the time to think about it. What's the small change that you need to make? I think it's commitment. I think you really need to commit to the changes, and realize that, again, it's this energy of it. Okay. So again, taking this example of you want to get fit. So you need to commit to, I'm going to the gym 5 times a week, every week for life. It's like a lifestyle change. Like, these are the changes that you're making. You're dedicated, you're committed, you're showing up, you're doing the thing on the days you want to and the days you don't want to, and it's all going to, again, compound. It's like you're making a mountain out of a molehill. One final message. Yeah, you're experiencing some sort of like internal battle, mental battle, and it's like, instead of just battling yourself, just go do the thing. Just go do the thing. Just go take care of, it's like taking care of business. Just do it. You got to sort of wrap your mind around, this is the thing that I need to do to get what I want. I just got to do it. I just got to take care of it. I got to show up every day, dedicated and committed to this thing. And soon enough, you're going to have what you want to have, and you're going to realize that it didn't take much effort at all. You were like building it up in your mind to be this big effort and this big thing, and it wasn't. You just had to commit yourself to the small details, the small ways that you show up. Thank you so much for watching this video. I just wanted to mention again that if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can go ahead and send me an email at the email address that's linked in the description box. It'll be leanna@indigoanna.com. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.